A movie called Triggered dropped, I think, today on VOD, and it is about a group of friends who go out into the woods to party together. And while they're out there, a man from their past shows up, knocks them out, and puts these vests on them. And they have a certain amount of time before they're going to blow up. But everyone's vests have different times on them. And they figure out that they have to kill each other to gain the time off of each other's vest, and the last one standing wins. So there's a bunch of friends that are pitted against each other. Of course, drama ensues, and who can you trust and all that kind of stuff. It's like a Saw movie. They even reference that within the film. They're like, oh, what'd this guy do? Get drunk and download every Saw movie? They're very self-referential here. And this film mostly goes, I would say it's like a 50-50 blend, where they're trying to do like a serious movie with some dramatic elements, but they're also throwing in a lot of like quippy one-liners that are meant for like laughs. And I honestly felt like this side of things, the quippy one-liners, is what brought the film down tremendously for me. I don't want to say the failure of the movie, because I think there's good elements here. I think there's some good gore. I do think there's some good moments towards the end and throughout that I was like, okay, that was cool. Okay, I liked that. I liked how this went. I like how this character did this. I like this. So there were things that I was enjoying about the movie, but the characters, a lot of them were so unbelievably unnervingly annoying to me, and a lot of it had to do with the attempt at humorous, pithy dialogue, where like something really dramatic would happen and they would realize that we're all going to die, this and that, and then like they'd go running away, and you'd hear like from one of them as they're running away, like, best weekend ever, I guess, huh? Or something along those lines. I'm paraphrasing or whatever, but it's the way that they say it, and it's like, nobody would say this here. And there's so many lines like that where it just doesn't match the rest of the film's tone, because the rest of the film is going for a pretty serious thing. But it also is kind of this self-aware, fun horror film with dramatic elements, which can work. I've seen that work many times. It's just that I thought that the attempt at humor's dialogue was always forced. It always felt too much. It was too over the top. It was too in your face annoying. That's how I took almost every joke in the film. Like, characters were just beating it over your head, and I just didn't like it at all in that regard. But as I said, I don't want to take away from it. I don't even think it's the actor's fault, because I don't think this film is calling for amazing acting. But there are some dramatic sequences that are, quite good or well acted from some of these people. So I don't want to like bash on them or anything. I think most of them do a pretty good job. I just think that the way that their characters are written and the way that they're directed, it just bothered me. It annoyed me personally. I find that a lot of people will find these characters to be unnerving. They will just be like, I can't with these guys. There's just like bombastic teenage type characters. They're not teenagers though. They're in their 20s for sure. But that's how it feels, those kinds of movies where the characters are just so unbelievably over the top annoying, and you're like, oh, shut the fuck up. And there's this like girl who's supposed to be brilliant in the show, and she's fine. I mean, she's good in it. She's pretty. She's, she plays it well. It's fine. But it's the way her character's written that doesn't work for me. Like, she's supposed to be the brainiac. She's supposed to be the brilliant one, right? And she doesn't want anyone to die. She's kind of the pacifist. She's the one that's like trying to get everyone to calm down and whatever. And so, of course, she's the smart one. So she figures out, because they're not told that the vests, what they do and what's going to happen and all that. And so she is the one that figures it out, and for some fucking reason tells them. Like, she's like with them. And this isn't spoilers to me, because that's the premise, is that they find out. I just told you that. That's really the only way I could describe this movie to make it interesting, is to tell you the premise, which is that they get the vests and they blow up if they don't kill each other. That is the premise. So she figures that out, and then she like comes to all of them, and she's like talking out loud, figuring it out, and then just like straight out tells them, like, we all have to kill each other to survive. Why? Like, everybody else there has no fucking idea what's going on. Why would she tell anybody that? The smart girl, who doesn't want anyone to kill each other would say that out loud? Come on. You know, at first I had a problem with the vests and like how the fuck would they know if somebody killed each other? Like it wouldn't make any sense because they're not using specific tools, but then it's like a proximity thing. So I got over that because the way they explained it, I was like, okay, I can buy that. That's fine. And I do like that they kind of play around with that proximity thing. And I'm not going to say how, but I did like that. It's the characters. The characters kill the film. The way they're written, not so much how they're acted, but the way that they're directed and the way they're written is just, it was too much for me personally. Maybe you'll like it, and that's cool. But yeah, I couldn't get over that part of it. And then, yeah, of course, there's some dumb decisions made, stuff like that, but that's typical. I don't know. I don't really care that much. For me, it's just a character issue, and it never resonated with me. So anyways, let me know if you check it out. It's on VOD, but it's not one that I'm really recommending to check out. But if you're like somebody who's like a fan of like a Saw escape room type of thing, they're out in the woods, so it's a little bit different. It's a little bit more of an open terrain kind of thing, but they can't really go anywhere because their shit's gonna blow up. So it does keep it kind of close quarters, and there's a lot of like trust issues, and of course a lot of like personal dramas come out between couples and all that kind of stuff. You know, all the secrets come flying out, and it always makes me wonder like what you would do in these kinds of situations, like how quick your friends would turn on you, like who your friends really are and what they really would do and how they would band together or not or whatever. So yeah, just character thing. Didn't work. Oh well. Adios.